Alright guys, this is part 13. It's just some music with me going through Eterna Forest. It's just a show for legitimacy, there's nothing really interesting here. So see ya. Have a good time.
Hey folks, it's Future Dati once again, here to give some commentary where there once was not. And honestly, I'm disappointed in my past self for not commentating over this section, because this is actually the introduction of a new gameplay mechanic that was not present in previous games, and that is going through routes with a partner, with most fights being double battles and all wild battles being double battles. And it's an interesting, new, and somewhat creative idea to stretch what was introduced in the third generation with the double battles. Because in previous games, in Pokemon Coliseum and XD, and all the third generation games, double battles were exclusively you versus two trainers. So you would control both your Pokemon that are on your side. Whereas here, you pray to the gods of luck that your AI-controlled companion works in your favor. Generally, they don't, especially when you're trying to catch Pokemon. Anyway, you'll see that I will often fight Pokemon trainers single battle whenever possible. And I guess that's so I don't have to be barraged by comments about how that Chansey was totally winning the battle for me. Because, you know, it's a solo Pokemon run, so he has to be solo as much as possible. But honestly, that Chansey is freaking not useful at all. So, really, if I were to do this run today, I would not care. Anyway, here we actually have this interesting double battle with a number of fully evolved Bug-type Pokemon. Like Wurmple, I believe, was introduced for the first time in this route, and you already see one of its final evolutions there. And, actually pretty much all the stages of evolution. Plus that Burmy that you saw earlier, which is pretty darn hard to find. Anyway, one thing I haven't really mentioned in this explanation yet, is that between every fight, your partner will heal you. Just completely heal, all HP, all PP. Really, it's an excellent opportunity to do some training, some grinding. Because you basically automatically go to a Pokemon Center between fights, and you don't waste any time, and it's great. If the forest were actually better at being a good training ground, that would be an excellent place to grind, but of course I didn't. Anyway, this is a little tag-along to the forest route, because, you know, they felt they couldn't have a forest directly up against the edge of a town. And here's your introduction to fishers, including the obligatory guy who has 6 Magikarps. At this point, the only electric type you would have is a Shinx, and the only grass type... You could have a couple different grass types. You could have a Budew, or a Turtwig, or a Grottle, as it might be at this point. But fishers, they use water types, use them, ta-da, you're done. Generally, they're not the most interesting. They're better fish in the sea, so to speak. And it doesn't help that these guys are basically only using Goldeen and Magikarp, when there is another water type on this route, Weasel, that they could use, that it might actually pose a threat. But, you know, I'm just tempted to complain about everything in the world, so we are here in Eterna City. Anyway, that takes care of Future Me segment, and I will see you guys next time.
Yeah. So this is Eterna City. Woohoo. Alright, see you next time in part 14.